All right, I'm going to walk through the MicroAcquire investor update for August. And if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out. But we put this together and I'll walk through it really quick, trying to make this quick and short. So August highlights, Tres Comas. We closed about 50 plus acquisitions with over 40 million in closed acquisitions for June, July, and August. It's important to note that we're still starting to collect acquisition data. We weren't before. So for example, we now have the ability to see when deals are closing. And some of these are under LOI, some of them haven't fully closed yet. But as you can see, we're looking pretty good. So it's probably higher than 50. It could be higher than 40 million. It could be, I don't know, 50, 60 million. So we're working on getting back to the presentation, jumping down to the last point. We're getting better on data collection. So other news, we grew annual recurring revenue to 846,000. That's a 19% month-over-month growth rate. We beat our prior goal. So last month we added 325 premium buyers, and this month we added 500. So that was awesome. And we have 90,000 total combined revenue for startups in August. And you can kind of just read through these. Secured an awesome partnership with Pipe. Lots of buyer messages being sent out. Hired a really talented front-end engineer. Hired three freelance copywriters for bootstrappers. And if you're not familiar with that, let me show that to you really quick. So the idea behind this is really to create a publication for entrepreneurs taking an alternative path to the typical Silicon Valley success story and really bootstrapping their way to success. Those are most of the businesses that we sell on MicroAcquire, and we want to inspire and motivate and be an ambassador for these businesses. And I think this is a great move because I personally bootstrapped a company and exited it, and it was awesome. And so I think there's an opportunity to really, change the narrative, and a lot of people agree. And so it's been really fun putting this together, putting the team together, and it's a real publication. So we're interviewing founders, and we're going to just tell amazing company building stories. We're going to cover all the stuff that major media isn't currently covering, which I believe to be a huge opportunity for us. It's a great way for us to really deliver news that the startup community deserves and tell stories that really, again, inspire and motivate. So that's pretty awesome. So moving back to, I'll show the recurring revenue graph. So this is our annual recurring revenue. As you can see, it's looking pretty good. Back over to the deck. So annual run rate, this is just from premium buyers. This isn't really how I plan to make this into a monstrous business. But it's definitely a nice start. And again, for those who aren't familiar with what we're trying to build, is we're really trying to build the Zillow of M&A, where you can find everything you need end to end to buy and sell startups, from legal to financing to M&A advisors. And I'll add a piece. I recorded a demo of the M&A Advisor Directory if you want to check that out. So at the end of this video, I'll add that if you want to check that out. But we're going to be building things like escrow. We've already onboarded a ton of M&A advisors if you look at the highlights. So just quickly moving forward, combined revenue of all startups, hockey stick. Company size increasing. So in July, we saw company size year to date increased by 32%. This month it's up by 44%. So this is really important as we move up market because we want to support larger businesses. And we're still supporting smaller businesses, but it just shows that these acquisitions are really happening on MicroAcquire and how big this market opportunity is. And so another thing that we're definitely really conscious of is having a carefully curated marketplace. So We were actually a little more picky this month in terms of the listings that we did put onto our marketplace. So last month was 56% of listings that submitted their profile. They completed the listing. They gave us all the pertinent information we needed to list it. We only approved 46% as opposed to 56%. New listings by month also going up. So as we get pickier, we're still seeing an increase in deal flow, which is awesome. So thank you to anyone who has referred anyone over to us. And if you do hear of a startup that's looking to get acquired, send them over to MicroAcquire. We've literally built a startup acquisition cannon. Like, it is a more efficient way to get acquired, and we will take great care of them. I promise you that. New listings by yearly revenue segment. So this is also increasing. If you look at the July update, the most notable one is the 1 million in annual recurring revenue or more. These are increasing at a more rapid pace than prior. Actually, all categories are, but this is the category that we're looking at because we want to see more 7-figure transactions go down. We want to see 8-figure transactions go down. And that kind of leads into the M&A marketplace. And I'll walk through that just in case you're not up to speed with how that works and how that's going to potentially drive additional revenue for MicroAcquire. Again, hockey stick, registered buyers. So I want to show this because it's literally bonkers. So if I type in new user, and we should probably have like this in Slack or something like that, but we're seeing a new user sign up like every single minute. So this MicroAcquire is MacroAcquire. We have created a beast of a company, and it's awesome. So I think that's cool. Moving on, going back to the presentation. We're also starting to, again, improving our data collection. So activity on the marketplace, how many acquisitions, how many acquisitions or what is total, deal volume. We're really starting to get better data on that. One thing that we're also starting to track is marketplace activity. So basically, we've seen 7,000 plus messages sent last week alone. So marketplace activity is absolutely exploding. And so what we're seeing is buyers are reaching out to multiple sellers. So typically buyers will reach out with 10 or more conversations, meaning that the buyers on MicroAcquire are very active. They are very active users, and they are logging in daily, looking at new deals. And that is awesome because we obviously don't want, one-offs and stuff like that. So we have people actively looking for businesses and are actively looking to acquire companies. So good news on that front. Listings are generating conversions. This is important for founders. So as a founder, if you list on MicroAcquire, 90% of our listings receive essentially 20% or more conversations from potential buyers. So the interest level from buyers within MicroAcquire, again, because really at its core, the way I think of MicroAcquire today is we are the largest database of software buyers in the world. Everyone from the largest private equity groups to corp dev teams at public companies or VC-backed companies. We even see acquisitions from venture capitalists. So lots of high quality buyers. And we have some ideas to even improve upon that, because when you get 20 requests as a founder, it could be overwhelming. So we're building in mechanics where we can filter that down to maybe the most serious, the top 3. So we'll have some ideas on that next month. But moving forward, if you need help, if you hear of any startup that is interested in selling, feel free to refer them over. You got the type form, brand building, newsletter, podcasts, interviews, count me in, down for anything. And shout out to the people that did invite me on to their podcast, or anyone who did mention me in your newsletter. I truly appreciate the support, and it means a lot just knowing that you believe in what we're doing and that's really helping startups succeed and get acquired and really help them through these life-changing events, and being able to do it with a more efficient process than what's typically seen today. And then just social media support. Like if you see something on Twitter regarding MicroAcquire, never expected, always appreciated. Now I want to go over. Oh, these are cool. So now we're using, so all the data was in MailChimp a couple months ago, and then obviously hired a bunch of people smarter than me. So we're starting to collect, how many sellers are signing up per day, how many buyers, we're segmenting all this stuff. I'd scroll down, but there's, information on basically like where web traffic is coming from. If you want to see that, I'll send it to you. Just let me know. But we're just basically hockey sticking up and to the right. And what else do I got? Okay, so this is what I wanted to go over. So this isn't going to help us build $1 billion company. No way. This is, maybe a $10 million company, $20 million company. Still a great business, but what we want to do is something much larger, much more impactful to the startup community, and that's consolidating the market. So we want to work with brokers. We want to work with investment bankers. We want to work with attorneys. We want to work with wealth advisors. We want to work with due diligence experts. And so the idea there is, instead of hiring in-house and becoming just another broker firm, we want to bring together the industry, again, similar to Zillow, same sort of playbook. So the way that we're running, the way that we're tracking is new listing published with goals. So basically compounding. Every single month, we're looking to increase listings by a significant amount. So I can toggle these to say, right now we're probably tracking at like 10%, because deal flow is kind of insane right now. So it's hard to top that. But let's say, we really want to attack, like we hire a team to just go after businesses that could be interested in selling with 10 million or more in annual recurring revenue. The way that we're going to be working with brokers within the M&A broker, and again, if you want to see how that works, I'll add in the video of the demo at the end. And it's still in staging. It's about 2 weeks out, but it's going to change the game. It's going to consolidate the industry. It's going to bring trust and transparency to really a shadow market, and allow startup founders to hire advisors with ratings and reviews. Like think Yelp or Upwork for investment banking, essentially. So how does that work? So you're a broker that's been onboarded onto MicroAcquire. I should also note that we hired an in-house business broker who previously owned his own brokerage firm and has done hundreds of acquisitions. And so we're doing this right. And basically we're thinking, not all startups will elect to hire an advisor. You will always be able to sell free on MicroAcquire. I need to make that really clear. So we'll always have an option for startups to sell their company on their own. If they don't need help, no problem. But if they do, like let's say we have kind of like some numbers here where on the smaller end, maybe you don't need help. On the bigger end, maybe you do. On the large end, you definitely do. What is the close rate? We're just assuming 50%. Again, it could be higher, it could be lower. These are kind of the standard multiples we're seeing across these. And then the commission for the sales price. So if it's a smaller deal, you can probably expect a higher percentage. In the middle, 7. And what's interesting about this is the market rate for these transactions is 10 to 15% across the board. And so if your company doing, 1 to 10 million annual recurring revenue, we will have brokers in our marketplace that are extremely experienced and will be willing to do a transaction and leverage the MicroAcquire buyer network and the tooling that we build to close the deal, but at a lower rate. And what's really exciting about this, and the most surprising thing I've discovered, is a lot of brokers, boutique investment banks, they spend half their time on sales and marketing. And so we have thousands of startups listed in MicroAcquire that they can help sell. So we can retroactively go back to startups that haven't sold yet. because maybe they don't know how to speak with buyers. Maybe they're too busy running their business because they have, like, your business is growing, so you don't have time to speak with people. Maybe you just, whatever it may be. So we can retroactively go back to them and say, hey, would you like to hire an advisor to handle all your negotiations, improve the look of your profile, audit your financials, everything that, a startup of that caliber might need to be acquired. And so we're going to take a referral off of the commission that we're going to be helping brokers get. So essentially, we want to make brokers money and investment bankers money. So if you're someone at Goldman Sachs and you want to start closing deals on the side, we got thousands for you. So another part of this is, and this part is being thought out about a little bit more, but as we begin to consolidate the industry, we're bringing in attorneys, we're bringing in the top tier business brokers, we're bringing in the best of the best investment bankers and M&A advisors, and they might be working a deal and maybe they're not able to find a buyer. So they'll be able to list that on MicroAcquire, because again, MicroAcquire in some form at its core is the largest database of serious software buyers and acquirers in the world. And so we can help them close deals faster. So we can charge a rate for that. We haven't really figured out, we haven't built this in yet. So these are all just dummy numbers. But again, and then this is, lending revenue based on, the pipe partnership. But again, this is how you see how we start scaling. So we go from making, essentially 8 figures to 9 figures really, really quickly. I'm pretty bullish we can get this thing to 10 million in revenue in 12 months. Based on what I'm seeing, based on what I'm hearing, based on the just absolute madness within the marketplace, I think we can hit 10 million within 12 months. I hope that ages well, but I'm confident saying that. So that's everything. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And just thanks again for everything. Like, everyone's support means so much to me. I'm having an absolute blast building this business, and it's really what I wish I had when I sold my prior company, and also being able to write a blog that inspires me, and I think will inspire millions of entrepreneurs across the globe. Like, we're, building a media company within MicroAcquire, and we're really looking to, again, inspire and motivate and help entrepreneurs succeed. And that's something I can personally get behind, and I'm just thrilled to be running the company. So not running the company, but working alongside really, really talented team. This is definitely a team effort, and shout out to everyone. You know who you are, and you guys, we're just, operating on another level. We added essentially 5,000 horsepower to MicroAcquire within the last 3 months. So 3 months from now, this is going to be a completely different beast. So thank you again for everything. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Cheers.